Papa, you the real MVP for this though.
If you got Jack in your cup, go raise it up, go raise it up, go raise it up. If you ain't got enough, go fill it up, go fill it up.
Hello folks and welcome to the Week 11 video of the 2019 NFL season, the NFL's 100th year. I'm your host, Cody P of the TBCC, where we say meow and we roll intros and loud buses interrupt us in the background. Because life is busy, and that's what you get for living in the local town instead of in a forest 3 miles away from any civilization. Last week, I guess, according to a lot of people, as we'll bring up the statistics right here for my last week predictions, was a bad week for everyone. I mean, I guess I consider myself lucky. I mean, I didn't go positive, but pretty much as even as you could get. Dallas choking to Minnesota, and a primetime Kirk Cousins kind of screwed us over, but, oh well, that's just coaching for you. I'm with you, Cowboys fans. Fire Jason Garrett as quickly as possible. Kellen Moore I like. He's got potential, but nah, Jason Garrett gotta go. Not the brightest man in the world, but to be fair, are any of us either? But no, outside of that, pretty much even Stevens. We're an overall record. We're not as good as we want to be, especially in the pretty much the midpoint way. And it doesn't look like we're going to go for our record season. Again, I don't know what that is because I haven't found it, but I know we had one season where we had less than 100 losses. Or less than 100 incorrects, we should say, but oh well.
Who are you talking to?
What can you do? And that's just more or less how we're going to do. But this week we shall correct things because we must be right eventually. Because we all deserve the opportunity to be right. So let's get into the picks, shall we? I'll move this way this time, so they can be over here. We're adding variety. I gotta really hug this screen, because sometimes I make the font too big. So I'm gonna try to really keep it over here as much as I can. With the computer over here. I like Cleveland to win tonight's game. I'm recording this on a Thursday. I like Cleveland to win tonight's game. They are quote-unquote the better team. Mike Tomlin's way better head coach than Freddie Kitchens is, as we are finding out this season. But I think Cleveland wins this game because, you know, you finally beat Buffalo. You get out of that losing streak you were in. You're on a roll. Pittsburgh, their offense is not that good. Cleveland has the potential to have a way better offense than Pittsburgh's is. So Cleveland should win tonight's game. Will Freddie Kitchens screw them up? Probably. But I'm going to take a chance on a low-scoring affair. I got a lot of low-scoring games. As you'll see, I take a lot of unders. Carolina will steamroll through Atlanta. Atlanta looked good, but I think that's just one of those off games, you know, where Atlanta beats NOLA. It's a division game, so it shouldn't necessarily be that much of a surprise that a lesser team beat a better team, because division games, the record don't mean nothing. So it is what it is. Buffalo to take on Miami, but Miami's kind of on that win streak right now, and Buffalo I don't trust, especially since they lost to Cleveland. They're maybe a little demoralized. I'll give them benefit of the doubt, but I think Miami keeps it close. If you'll recall, when they last met in Buffalo, it should have been a 3-point game. Miami went for an onside kick, and Micah Hyde is like, you know what, I'm not only going to recover this, I'm going to get a touchdown off it, because screw you and the horse you rode it on. And screw you too for making a kids-only selection or whatever. But who knows, maybe I won't even be here that much longer. Dallas will recover, beat Detroit. Detroit's not good, whether they start Stafford if he's healthy or if it's Driscoll. Dallas will take care of them. Minnesota should take care of Denver. I was tempted to give Denver benefit of the doubt on the spread because 10.5 is a lot of points for a Minnesota team, especially with Cousins. But, you know, Denver is not that good of a team. So, especially now that they're starting Brandon Allen. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I like Baltimore. I thought about taking Houston on the spread at least. But you're kind of at a point now where you got to commit. Like, I'm not going to say Baltimore's going to win every game here. But I'm at a point where you got to commit to them. And you believe what they can do. I believe if we play our cards right, we should be a number 1 seed. Because we're going to get to a stretch here. Houston, LA Rams, and San Francisco, I believe, are our next 3. So the chances of us losing one of those is probable. But I think we could take Houston. We're at home. We are a better team overall. Better defense than Houston. Oh, this one will be a high score. I like this. Houston's defense is not that good. Baltimore's is up and down. But both offenses are extremely lethal, and I'm expecting a very high-scoring affair. I like Jacksonville to beat Indy. We have no idea what's going on with Indy's quarterback situation. If Brian Hoyer has to start again, then it's lights out for Indy. Nick Foles is coming back for Jacksonville, and they're making him the starter. You can debate whether or not he deserved over Minshew, but I mean, if you want to say, hey, we're giving him this money, he at least deserves to play, so we can see if this money was worth it. And then, yeah. Minshew only went 4-4 as a starter, I believe, so it's not like he really did much. But what can you say? No, again, division games, they're not usually, they're not all razzle-dazzle, yada yada. It's, one of those off chances. Tampa Bay is a lesser team than Atlanta, despite Atlanta maybe having a worse record than Tampa. So New Orleans will come back to their normal form, yada yada, blow through Tampa, and we'll pretend like last week it never happened. Skins and Jets, no one cares. I'm pretty much cheating this way, taking one team and then the underdog against the spread because I'm going to win one of those. So, and if Washington wins by 1 point, then that's a double win for me. The real losers here are the fans who paid to watch that game. Sorry. San Fran will sweep Arizona, but Arizona keeps it close because Arizona's definitely getting into their groove now. And San Fran's a little overrated and probably going to be a little tired, even though I never really understood that you get 6 or 7 days rest. But tired from that Monday nighter against Seattle. Good game, by the way. Good game. Oakland dominates Cincy. The Rams will dominate Chicago. KC will dominate the Chargers on Monday night. I like Philadelphia in the upset here, folks. I like Philadelphia. They're a home team. It's a home game. New England coming off a bye after a disappointing loss to Beemore. And you'll come to find out, having that weak schedule ain't going to help them much. And Philly, I know they want their chance to get into the playoffs because Dallas is not that dominant. So Philly has a good chance to win this division. So they need all the wins they can get. So with Philly having the home game against New England and winning their last 2 matchups, granted Carson Wentz didn't play in either of those matchups, but I like pretty much Philly to do the same thing that Baltimore did, just be high scoring. New England's, their offense is not that high scoring. It's only high scoring only because the defense got takeaways because again they played crappy teams. So the crappy teams turned the ball over. Whether Philly wins this or not, up for debate, but with a 3.5 spread, I'll definitely take that. I think Philly has a really good chance of winning this game. So at the very least, the points are worth it in my opinion. And there you have that. Tis be what it be. We'll go take a look at fantasy real quick. Interesting. This was week 10. We're on week 11 now. Week 10 was the first week between the 2 leagues where I lost both games. Now, in the words of a guy named Jeremy, who's in the league, I made a trade. You can call it what you want. It was practically Derrick Henry for Julian Edelman, with some minor pieces here and there. And because I ended up playing the guy that I traded with that week, I ended up losing because Edelman was on the bye and got to start Derrick Henry. And of course, Derrick Henry has his best game by far of the season the week I trade him to my apparent opponent. So, thanks, Henry, for everything. But you're on a bye this week now, so that's kind of what more or less helped me push that to. I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe committing to Singletary as my flex position will screw me over. I guess we'll find out. But for now, we're going to recover. I got a Progs matchup against Dylan, 5-5. He's fighting for a playoff spot. And then the other way, we got Nate, who's also 5-5. But the difference between LOA and the Progs League is in the LOA, the best team's at 7 wins. While in the Progs, the best team's at 9 wins. So a 5-5 record is different depending on the context of your situation. at this point in the LOA League, everyone is pretty much still up for grabs in playoff spots. Teddy sitting at 2-8 is practically eliminated, and Mike at 3-7, I won't say is out, but pretty much needs a miracle at this point. Which is funny because Teddy and Micah are playing this week, so if Teddy beats Micah, then that's pretty much just game over for them too. And it'll be us 6 fighting for those spots in the 3 weeks after week 11, 12, 13, and 14. So you have that. And yep, I'm pretty much me, Gio, Justin, and Connor, the guy I played last week, are pretty much all locks to make the playoffs right now. And then there's like 4 people that got eliminated unofficially. I don't know. I haven't really checked the standings. I don't really know the rules because we're also 1 week less. So we're at 3 weeks left in the Progs League, but 4 weeks left in the LOA. And that is that. Will my picks be good? Will I win fantasy? Will things go the way I want it to? Who knows? Who cares? We're just here to have fun and hope that a team other than the Patriots win the Super Bowl this year. Or even go to it. I like my variety. New England's dominant and they usually give us good games. Not last year, but they usually give us good Super Bowl games, but nah. I like my parody. I like the variety. I like different. As my dad and I were talking, between the NFL and the NBA now the Golden State's not dominating, there's variety, there's parity. We might have a different game altogether now for the championship, and I think everyone would appreciate that. Even New England fans. I mean, yes, if I were a Pats fan, I'm pretty sure I'd want us to win every year. But I also like my parity. I like seeing other people win. I'm a Ravens fan, but I wouldn't mind seeing my boy Deshaun Watson win a ring. I think he deserves it. Drew Brees in a second, I'd like that. Not that this would ever happen, but the Vikings versus the Bills, they're both 0-4 in Super Bowls. One of them can finally win a ring and have a Super Bowl for their franchise. Hey, I'm all for good stories and for good players to win good things. But that'll be it for me today. Thank you all for watching. And that is that. Enjoy the games, folks. I shall see you next week.